I felt something. So, like I say, I cleaned the mess up that Prince made. I went in my room and I was texting the person I was dating, and then I had made a Facebook post about, I think, my head hurting and how the movie was or something about the movie. And I was texting a few more people. And by this time, I'm like, oh, I gotta go ask my mama something. Still to this day, that's how you know that wasn't nothing but God. I got up to ask my mom whatever I was going to ask her. She was on the phone. My uncle was in the kitchen by this time. He was, refilling his cup of tea. And then all of a sudden, I hear a footstep. And I look back and I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm smiling. And I just see this tall guy with a camo jacket on and a gorilla mask. And in my mind, I'm thinking that it's my other brother, because he stayed a few streets back from me. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. And I'm just still not realizing what's going on. So by the time I say that, he pulls a gun out and he's like, where's Tony? And by this time, I'm like back in the kitchen with my mom and my uncle. And I see two other guys come in behind him. And when he has us down saying, where's Tony? My mom's like, Jen, you gonna let him come in and do this? And he's like, whatever you do, just don't hurt my family. And he's like, my PO officer just came. So the other two, I looked and there's like a half bar, kind of a half wall blocking the way in the hall. And I see them go and they kick my brother's door in. Now, mind you, the lights on everywhere else in the house. They go straight to my brother's room. And they're in there. And it's like all of a sudden, I swear to you not, I had an out-of-body experience. And I had a friend tell me, and I feel like that she was right with that. She said that it's like, okay, if you're not strong enough, God would send the Holy Spirit. He would send a comforter to comfort you. And I'm like, okay, you can't take this on, so I'm going to help you out, and I'm going to take over. I feel like I saw everything. Like, I saw us crouched down. I saw him pointing a gun at us. And I'm just like, my heart was just, it felt like it just left my body. Like, I didn't know what to do. So my mom, before she was trying to yell for my brother, I stopped her midway. And I told her, like, Mom, no, like, don't yell because he'll shoot you. And my uncle's just sitting there and he had his head, like this. And all of a sudden, sorry. All of a sudden, I hear my brother and he yelled for my uncle. And he's like, Julia. And you can hear him in there fighting. And my uncle just shaking his head because it's like, what can he do? The gun is right there pointing at him. And all of us, he can't get up. And then it's like, I hear a shot go off. And then I hear another one. And at this point, I just put my head down and closed my eyes. Because I'm like, if this guy wants to, he can just shoot us just because. And then there wouldn't be nobody there left to tell what happened. So they came running out. And I look up. And they get stuck at the door. My uncle. To think that people, when somebody say that they really love you or they die hard for their family or whoever it is they care about, if they say that they would die for you, my uncle was the real definition of that. This man could have stayed sitting right there with us. But instead, he decided he was going to protect his family by any means. He went and got his gun. And the guy who had us at gunpoint said, "Don't you do that." My uncle shot at them anyway. And the other two were still trying to get out the door. The guy who had us at gunpoint turned and he just started shooting off at my uncle. And it's like, when you're in something so intense like that, you don't realize your body can't comprehend what's going on. It goes into survival mode. So my uncle gets shot, and it's like, it doesn't faze me right then. It's like, oh my, like, this is happening. Like, and he shoots my uncle like 5 times. And not only did he shoot him, I hear my uncle like kind of, make a noise like gasp. Like, he takes my uncle's gun and he beats him. Like, you would think my uncle did something to this man. Like, he really had it out for him. He beat my uncle so bad that he cracked his skull and his brains was coming out. Mind you, my uncle had a heart condition. My uncle didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve to go out the way they did. Like, so by then, for my brother walking out, he ended up collapsing on the floor in the living room. And I can't see because the couch is anywhere. I just see his feet, from the couch. So when the guy go ahead and do that to my uncle, I guess maybe my brother moved. I don't know. The guy turns around and he aims at us in the kitchen. And we're still crouched down. But by this time, I'm like, oh my God, like, this is it. I'm about to get shot. So that wasn't nothing but God. It was like, no, not these two. You can't do it. By then, my brother, like I said, he had to have moved or something, or God just redirected. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but whatever it was, he turned towards my brother and he shot more over there towards him. And my brother just got shot up. My brother got shot 6 times. And when they left, I've never been in a place where the silence was so ill, and all you smelled and saw was the gun smoke, and you smelled gunpowder. That's all you smelled. In the neighborhood we stayed in, there was cops on almost every corner. Why this time no one called the cops and you don't hear anything? So my mom wanted to go to the door. I told her no. I'm like, they might come right back and they'll shoot you. She went and locked the door. I had my phone in my back pocket. I almost forgot my password. I'm shaking and I called 911. And the lady, whoever she was, I hope she was end up being fired, because she was not helpful at all. She did not keep me calm, not 1 second. So I called the police. They were on their way, and it felt like forever. And my mom was over there trying to help my brother, and I'm, trying to help my uncle. And I was really scared to touch him because I knew how his heart was, and I didn't know what to do. Like, so she's trying to tell me how to help him and everything, but as soon as I touched him and, started trying to do CPR, he gasped, and that was it. And my brother, I went to him, and by this time, the police then came, and, EMS or whatever, and I feel like they was taking their own precious time coming in and just feel like they just went in a rush, like barely trying to hurt and put the gloves on anything. But I'm sorry I keep going ahead. But before I got to really talk to my brother like that, like, he was just laying there and his eyes were just open wide and his mouth was just open. It was like he was like just stunned, like in shock. And I didn't know if he could hear us. I hope he could, and I hope that he wasn't I hope neither one of them was in pain.